So I'm 35. I live in a college town, big into climbing, and I was single. So a year ago, I went on a date with this woman. And right off the bat, she was like, I don't know if I'm in a spot to date right now. And I was like, whatever, we'll go climb. And we had a good time. We started, hooking up pretty quickly. And then things started to get a little weird after that. She was like, hey, can you block this number?
Oh.
And I was like, what's that about? And she's like, oh, it's my ex.
Oh, no. And
I was like, okay.
What the fuck?
And I didn't, because I was like, I don't know. I've never dealt with a crazy ex-boyfriend. And I was like, I don't even know what the context is for this.
He's in the woods hiding.
And then later she shares me. So, so I've been kind of off and on with this guy. We broke up months ago, but we've been still talking. And we were in this cuckolding relationship. And we kind of met up fairly recently with a bowl and, had sex. And I was like, okay, like how recently? And she was like never really clear about that.
Yesterday.
Like, kind of dodging the dates. So I was like, oh, it was before we hooked up. And I was like, okay, sure. And fast forward, this guy, he doesn't text me. He CCs me on an email to this lady titled Cheating. And
wow.
It's this really long email of like, you've hooked up with these people, you've emotionally cheated with these people, you're doing all sorts of things under the table. I don't want to be in contact with you, whatever. There's a whole saga with this. I'll try to fast forward through it, but
she sounds pretty cool.
Basically, this guy kept on reaching out to me to like say, hey, like she's in contact with me, like, oh, she's texting me. Meanwhile, like he's sending me a screen cap where like you can obviously tell like he sent a dick pic to her, and she's like, oh yeah, I like this, and like I'm like, it's a two-way street here, buddy. But it seemed like he was trying to play a white knight situation. We go on a trip. He like sends me another email while she's like before she lands, being like, oh, she's trying to connect with me again, and we end up breaking up.
And just out of curiosity, you don't really give a fuck? You're just like, it's kind of casual for you? You're just kind of hooking up with her and you're like, okay, whatever? Or because to me, it's like interesting. It feels like from what I gather, she was cheating on this guy with you? Or like, what's your situation? Like, were you pissed off about this? Like, you seem like you're rolling with the punches, and were you just like, well, she's cool, but we were just hooking up, so I don't really give a fuck? Or what's your outlook here?
Right. Well, yeah, and most people would hear about that would be like, I'm watching this, but
we didn't catch any of it, dude.
You're breaking up real bad.
Yeah, we didn't catch any of that.
No, okay. Yeah, I
mean, dude,
but
we're not
honestly,
hearing.
I was like, into kinky stuff.
Gamer dude,
and
bro.
I was like,
gamer dude, bro.
Okay. Pretty hot. Yeah.
Yeah, your shit just sounds very fucked. We could barely hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, right now you're sounding okay.
Here, but
are you moving around?
Yeah, just
don't move around.
I'm standing still. I think it's just.
Oh.
I'm not moving at all.
Oh, okay, damn.
I think it's just a bad spot.
Gotcha. I heard.
But
start over from the top. What you were just saying.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, like most people would run away in this situation, but frankly, that's been like a kink of mine. I've been kind of casually interested in. So I was like, I don't know, maybe we'll see where things go. Like,
what, getting cucked?
I was like, yeah, I was like, either end of it. I think it's just like kind of a hot kink. So I was like, I could do either side. I'm interested in both of it, whatever. Just give it a shot. And I was also like, I was getting a lot out of it. We were like climbing together, having a lot of fun. And so I was like, you know what, however this turns out, I'm like just gonna see how things go.
You sound like a nice, easygoing guy.
That's
man.
awesome. Be like, yeah, I'm kind of interested in the cuck stuff. I don't know. I could either be the cuck or the bull. I don't give a fuck really.
I'll watch her get fucked. Look, she's got some great carabiners. We're fucking, we're getting to the summit. We're having a nice time camping. Pussy's only one part of it.
Yeah.
It is awesome. You sound like a great guy, man. You sound like a good hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, like, I just tend to find people that are more traditional, more vanilla. So I was like, this is I'd like literally been journaling about finding someone like this where it's like, we can climb together, we could have hot sex and all this. So I was
My
like,
man secreted himself
landing in my lap.
But
anyways,
in his diary.
it doesn't go well, obviously.
Yeah. No shit.
You know, she's still involved with this guy. She ends up saying "I love you" to me, and then a week later is like, "Oh, can we be friends?" Actually.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and that hurt.
Of course, dude.
But yeah, so I got back on the apps pretty quickly, and I get another email from this guy being like, "Hey, I thought you should know she's been making some catfish profiles on online dating profiles, and like here's a couple of them. I'm pretty sure are her." And
who is this guy?
Yeah.
This guy's a fascinating character. Like he's your ally as well. Like he won theoretically. She was like, let's just be friends." And he's like, "Hey man, all the cucking of me, all the non-consensual cucking of me aside, bro to bro, I think she's catfishing you."
I know.
There's honor amongst thieves here. I love it.
I was talking to some of these profiles. Like I was being, and these weren't just like fake profiles. These were like legit people that live in this town. Like
she put some effort into it.
Yeah, and you know, I eventually like went on a walk with this guy because I was like, I need some more details. Like, tell me what's the fuck's going on. And,
tell me you guys sucked each other off in the woods, man.
Yeah, it was a public place. But yeah, so, you know, I eventually find out, you know, he ended up having this like, you know, cucking session like 2 days before we hooked up, and it was all like very intermixed and all this stuff. And it sounded like he was trying to put a restraining order on her. It's like he's got this kid, and it sounded like she was, you know, getting in and out of his life.
How good is this pussy, for Christ's sake? Would you rate? What would you rate?
Just like,
yeah, is the pussy crazy?
How good is the pussy? I mean, it's got to be out of 10 for all this, right?
I mean, it was fun, you know. It was good times. Like, I was having a great time overall, but you know, there was definitely a lot of things where she was like, "Oh, like my ADHD is just really bad," and I'm like, "You don't cheat because you have ADHD. That's not a thing."
Oh, I thought I was sucking your dick, and I wasn't paying attention. It was actually another guy's dick.
Yeah, I was like, totally,
I use cock like a fidget spinner. It just keeps me. It just keeps me engaged.
Yeah, like it was just kind of crazy. So, but yeah, after all that, I like texted her and I was like, "Yo, like I heard you impersonated people. That's really not cool. Like, I feel really like violated."
Yeah.
And like I don't want to talk to you. Blah blah blah. And she responded basically being like, "Oh, well, you know, I was just checking up on what my exes were up to. You know, it's not healthy to start dating right after a breakup."
Oh,
you know?
my God. What the fuck? That's insane. That's fucking nuts to even attempt that Uno reverse on your ass.
I know. It was, I was like not buying it at all. But anyway, so it was like, yeah, you need to do some work before we ever talk again. And yeah, so a year later, out of the blue, I get a text from her. It starts out like, "Oh, I want to ask for forgiveness. I've done all this work. You know, I wasn't fucking this other guy." Like, meanwhile, there was like a third person involved that, like, you know, of course. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't fuck him." I'm like, "Whatever. That doesn't even matter." And but then she's like, "Oh, but now I'm asking for a request. I want like all the screenshots of like the text messages, the timestamps of like this other guy, this cuck guy that's been sending me all these emails and stuff." for quote unquote legal purposes.
Nah, dude.
And like, please help me with this request. Thanks, whatever. And at the moment, I was just like, this was a very stressful event for me.
Sure.
It made me super paranoid about online dating. I haven't really been able to date successfully for like a year. And so I just kind of let it lie for now. I was like, I'm kind of like,
Nah, you don't want to get involved in that shit.
I don't want to get involved in it. I was like kind of upset. I did want to like kind of be like, of course, like you're only asking for forgiveness and like to cross, bring the olive branch out when you want something from me. Like, it could have happened months ago.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of he said, she said stuff. Like, yeah, he was like sending me a lot of information that was helpful, but just hear things around town about both of them.
Who gives a fuck? Why do you care, dude? It doesn't matter. You should not be trying to make heads or tails of this. You should just be putting this behind you fully. This bitch, first of all, she should be blocked. Like, what are you talking about? She was cheating. She was leading you on and weirdly emotionally, and then she was just fucking kind of playing with your feelings. At a time where you were pretty open. You were like, I could be into some cuck shit. You were pretty like, if she had just been honest with you, you would have been up for whatever. And, you wouldn't put a rating on it, but I'm guessing the pussy was 10 out of 10 because that's the only way this justifies any behavior like this. And then she fucking catfishes you, tries to gaslight you about it, and only contacts you when she wants anything. Like, you don't need to be even fucking doing any research on either, around town, I hear he's a bad guy. Who fucking cares? This is a weird time in your life. You got some good pussy out of it, but it also forced you into this weird friendship with a cuck that was also cucking you, and it's just bizarre. You need to move past this shit. Just tell her, look, I'm not getting involved in this, and you block her fucking number. I don't know I don't mean to fucking jump down your throat here, but it just feels like you're kind of giving this situation too much thought, and it doesn't deserve that at all. This is a weird, fucked up thing that happened to you. This lady should be squarely in your past, whether it's helping her, talking to her again, any of the other shit, and you need to just be like, moving on as much as possible. You don't need to let this kind of like, there's no moral quandary here. There's no like, oh, what should I do here? There's ignore this bitch and keep it pushing, in my opinion.
You are just way too in the weeds with your
100%.
Now ex's cuck ex.
100%.
It's like what are you doing, man?
Who gives a fuck?
Why are you trading like gossip with this guy about this bitch? Like,
you're meeting with him like he's deep throat. He's like, I have more info on other guys she fucked. It's like, what? You're a guy she fucked, by the way. Like, who cares, dude? It's like, yes, if you were to really investigate this shit, you could probably figure out who's right and who's wrong, but it's such a waste of your fucking time, dude. You need to completely nuke this situation and move fucking forward. This is not, you don't need to get tactical here. You need to drop a fucking bomb on this shit and keep moving.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think the only difference is like, I'm not in a place like New York City. I am in like a college town. So there are like a number of people where I'm like friends with that have 1 degree of separation between these people.
Sure.
Like, I've felt really uncomfortable posting anything on social media because I know like one or the other is going to be like seeing my shit, and like I just don't want them to know what I'm up to. So I don't know. It just feels like small town vibes, like where I'm like, like it would be nice to not have this awkward thing going on.
Who cares? By the way, can I ask you a question? Who gives a fuck if it gets back to them? Who fucking cares?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not quite describing your friends here.
Yeah.
I believe that it's like people you run into a lot, but even in a small town,
And also, but give me an example of what you're worried about getting back to them. I'm having a hard time even considering this shit.
Yeah, I don't trust really either of them, and I know she was doing some pretty petty shit, like nothing like violent, but like she was always like doing shit with like his social media account, like had his password and stuff, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, You shouldn't even be involved.
This bitch
like,
has a cuck
so it's just
stable and
like-
is cyberbullying them.
Cucking them, making them watch her get stuffed isn't enough. She wants to destroy these motherfuckers psychologically too. Dude, I listen, I get it. You're just so clearly still involved here and like you care on some level. And like it doesn't matter. Like unless you're just what you're worried about is her. Like if you're worried about you have to hide your life so this woman doesn't cyberbully you, then like you can't worry about that shit. You have to live your life, and if she does shit that's illegal, you have to fucking report her to, you know, whoever the fuck. Like that's really what it is. If we're talking about somebody who's abuse, you're worried about abuse is really what it comes down to. And it's like that's not your fucking job, dude. You got to live your life without worrying about this person you hooked up with. It's like it was cool, it was weird, she's kind of insane, whatever. You have to live your life, and I hate to be honest with you, it's like you can't be like living in fear of this for the rest of your life. You either have to fucking go back to normal, or if she see what happens. Hopefully, she just moves on. But if she does something crazy, then you can fucking report it, or like you know, I know it's a college town, whatever, but it's like you can still. There's other pockets of this fucking community that you can be in. And by the way, maybe I hate to say this. It happens when you fuck your way into such a mess, you have to move from a small town. That does happen from time to time. And I don't think that's where you're at. I just think you're way too worried about the optics of how you behave after the situation. And you can't, dude. These people do not matter. Hurting their feelings does not matter.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, yeah, I think I'm just a bit too empathic where I'm like, oh, like maybe she is like, not you know, she's being harmed or something like that.
No,
and,
she's a fucking dumb bitch. And listen, maybe she is. That's not your fucking problem, bro. Like she also harmed you. She fucked you over. That's all that fucking matters. She might be in a weird situation. Guess what? Her behavior led her to that place, and that's not your fucking problem. You can't be trying to solve her fucking issues or worried about what she thinks. This bitch catfished you.
I have definitely thought of that. I'm not quite there, but there were some moments this winter where I was like, maybe I do need to fucking move from here.
This is this goes back to my classic misogyny as chemotherapy theory, where you're being too nice to this woman. You have to hate her for like 3 months to get over this bullshit and stew on what she did to you. Because like she treated you poorly. You've jumped to empathy before you even got over this. Look. If you fully healed from this weird relationship, right? We've all been there where there's a breakup, you know, you're sad for a while, you go through all the grieving, whatever. And then when you're on the other side of it and you've dated other people and they don't have this, you know, emotional tug on you anymore, you can then start seeing them as people who aren't, you know, your exes exactly. You see them as like just who they are. And you're like, you know what? I feel sorry for her. Her life is weird. She's got fucked up stuff. But you can only do that once you're fully healed and she's not affecting you actively. You're still in the fucking weeds, bro. You gotta let her not affect you at all before you start throwing empathy her way. That's not your fucking job right now. Your job is to find a different bitch who climbs to fucking rub chalk on her hands and jerk you off with it. That's what you need to be doing right now.
I know, yeah. It's slim pickings, I'll tell you that. It's been tough.
Yeah.